Good evening, everyone. It's Zunderman. It doesn't have to be perfect. Tonight, let's forgive ourselves and lighten our hearts. Accepting yourself really makes your heart feel lighter. Even if you remember your mistakes that day, they are now a part of you. Tonight, I will love myself for not being perfect. Showing vulnerability is also an important part of who you are. Let's accept it in its entirety. Showing your vulnerability is also a beautiful part of who you are. Let's admit it. Self-forgiveness is the gateway to peaceful sleep. Even if you make mistakes, your worth doesn't change. People around you may not care as much as you think. Tonight, let's turn tears of regret into light of healing. Crying is also part of who you are as a person. Let's admit it. Let's embrace the feelings of regret gently. Let's slowly relax from the tips of our toes. Your calves will gradually become heavier and warmer. Take slow, deep breaths. Inhale through your nose and exhale gently through your mouth. Feel the tension in the back of your knees melt away. The muscles in your thighs will become soft and relaxed. Breathe in quietly. Then let it out. Relax your stomach and feel your breathing deepen naturally. The fatigue around my waist seems to be absorbed into the futon. Place your hand on your stomach and feel the rhythm of your breathing. Your entire back will sink into the futon. Your chest will become softer and your breathing will become easier. Breathe in to bring fresh air into your body, and breathe out to release today's fatigue. Let's gently take the burden of the day off your shoulders. The stiffness on the sides and back of your neck will gradually loosen. Inhale slowly through your nose to a count of 4 and exhale to a count of 6. Relax your jaw and create a little space between your teeth. When your cheek muscles relax, your facial expression becomes softer. Just by focusing on your breathing, your mind will naturally become calmer. The fatigue that had accumulated behind my eyes quickly disappeared. All the wrinkles on your forehead will disappear and it will become smooth and smooth. Try exhaling just a little longer. Your body will loosen up. Warm light slowly descends from the top of your head to the tips of your feet. Feel your fingertips gradually becoming warm. Feel your body sinking into the mattress a little with each breath. Relax your palms and let your fingers open naturally. The weight of your arms will be transferred to the futon, making your shoulders even more comfortable. There is no need to add anything to your current breathing. It's perfect as is. If you still feel tension somewhere in your body, take a deep breath and let it go. My whole body feels relaxed and I feel like I'm floating on a cloud. Each time you breathe in, peace comes in, and each time you breathe out, tension goes out. Feel the comfortable weight of your body, as if you were lying on a warm sandy beach. The warmth that gradually spreads from the tips of your feet envelopes your whole body. Just listen to the sound of your own breathing. Peace of mind spreads to every corner of your body. My weakened body is now receiving a rest. Imagine the breath you take in gently spreading throughout your body. If your eyelids naturally become heavy, you can just close them. Slowly scan from the tip of your left foot to the tip of your right foot. Breathing is your friend. It always calms you down. The tops of your feet sink into the futon, and your ankles relax. Your shin muscles will rest comfortably on the futon. With each breath, the waves of your heart become calmer. The entire knee will gradually become warmer. All the muscles in your inner and outer thighs will become relaxed. Don't think about anything, just feel the warmth of your breath. Let's embrace our failures gently. Forgiving yourself for your past will help you feel lighter. It's okay to let go of your past failures. Imagine yourself under a starry sky. The twinkling stars will calm your mind. Accept your feelings of regret as part of who you are. Even though I remember the anger of that day, my heart has already healed. Instead of blaming yourself for today, let's work hard. It is an old hotel that looks like a ruin and is surrounded by silence. Even if you remember the regrets of that day, it's okay to forgive. Let's turn our regrets into forgiveness. If you hear something about what you should have done at that time, respond by saying that you are amazing. The warmth of the futon is the world's wish for you good night. I'm sure the day will come when you can laugh and talk about your mistakes. I've reflected on it enough. Let's free ourselves. Regrets are like baggage. Let's take it down a little tonight. Imagine yourself sitting on a plateau with clear air, gazing vaguely at the distant mountains. Tonight, let's turn tears of regret into seeds of kindness. By acknowledging your past self, you can move on. If it sounds pathetic, just say it's fine as is. You are completely free from the noise of the daytime and find yourself in silence. If you hear that it's your fault, respond by saying you're doing your best. The reason that time was wrong is that I had no choice but to do it that way. So let's forgive now. Let's turn negative words towards ourselves into kindness. It lies in a quiet living room with streaks of light shining diagonally through the window. Embracing your past self will make you feel lighter. Even if you remember the anger of that day, you have already moved on. Tonight, let's turn the tears of regret into rain of peace. The night breeze will gently soothe your heart. Crying is also a wonderful part of who you are. Let's accept it in its entirety. Even if you remember the regrets of that day, there is no need to blame you anymore. Forgiving yourself is the first step to moving forward. Feel a quiet peace spreading deep within your heart. Time to forgive yourself is also time to love yourself. Start practicing forgiving yourself tonight. Crying is also an important part of who you are. Let's admit it. In this quiet space, your mind slowly returns to its original form. Be kind to yourself tonight. Let's turn our regrets into kindness. Failure is also a beautiful part of who you are. Let's love you. Imagine yourself looking out the window of a night train at the night scene. The regular shaking will lull you into a slumber. Even if I remember the sadness of that day, I can forgive myself now. Let's put an end to the nights of blaming ourselves tonight. A new life begins when you love yourself. You will be completely rested before this night is over. Even though I remember the regrets of that day, my heart has already healed. The only thing I couldn't do at that time was do it. So let's forgive now. Even if you remember your mistakes that day, you have already moved on. Let's remember the nostalgic scenery of our hometown. It felt like I was gently returning to the place where I played when I was little. Even if you remember the regrets of that day, you have already moved on. If they sound pathetic, respond by saying you're amazing. Even though I remember the helplessness I felt that day, my heart has already healed. Imagine yourself listening to the sound of raindrops by the window on a rainy night. The rhythm of rain sounds naturally lulls you to sleep. Failure is also part of who you are as a person. Let's admit it. Even if you remember the tears you cried that day, it's okay now. By acknowledging your past self, you will feel lighter. Stop trying so hard and enjoy the moment of just being. If you hear something about what you should have done at that time, respond by saying it's fine as is. Even if you remember your mistakes that day, it's okay. Crying is also a beautiful part of who you are. Let's admit it. This is a safe place. It's okay to leave everything to me. The strongest people are those who can love themselves even though they are not perfect. What was wrong at that time was your full strength at that time. So let's forgive now. Tonight, tell yourself it's okay. While you are resting, your body continues to repair itself silently. If she sounds pathetic, tell her that she can take a break now. Crying is also part of who you are as a person. Let's accept it in its entirety. Even if you remember the loneliness of that day, you have already moved on. You are in the most protected place in the world under your futon. Being scared is a great part of who you are. Let's accept it in its entirety. What you couldn't do at that time was your best effort at that time. So let's forgive now. The past cannot be changed. But you can change it now. I am lost in thought in my warm tatami room, looking at the stains on the ceiling. A new life begins when you forgive yourself. Even if you remember how helpless you felt that day, you have already moved on. What failed at that time was the process of your growth. So let's forgive now. A peaceful time just for you, where no one will disturb you, has begun. What hurt you back then was your full strength at that time. So let's forgive now. Crying is also an important part of who you are. Let's accept it in its entirety. By forgiving yourself, tomorrow will be freer. Just accept the sleep without any expectations. Even if you remember the embarrassment of that day, it's okay now. Even though I remember the embarrassment of that day, my heart has already healed. Tonight, let's turn the weight of guilt into seeds of kindness. Tonight is a good night to pamper yourself. Change your self-blaming voice to a kinder voice. What failed at that time was your best effort at that time. So let's forgive now. Failure is also a great part of who you are. Let's admit it. Imagine a small clear stream deep in the forest, surrounded by silence. The water flows gently over the rocks, the only sound you can hear. If you hear that you should have done something that way, respond by saying that you did the best you could at that time. The reason I couldn't do it back then is because I'm human. So let's forgive now. Even though I remember the loneliness of that day, my heart has already healed. I'm walking along an abandoned railroad track in the countryside. The scenery where the railroad tracks and grass are integrated spreads out. By embracing your past self, true growth begins. If he hears that he needs to work harder, tell him that he can take a break now. Let go of any feelings of regret. I'm drinking hot cocoa in a small cafe in the snow. It's snowing quietly outside the window. Accept your imperfect self as a whole. Let's embrace our wounds gently. Forgiving yourself for your past will free you. You are lying quietly under the dark moonless night sky. It's a darkness that gently envelopes you. Focus on what you learned from your mistakes rather than what you did wrong. Showing your vulnerability is also a beautiful part of who you are. Let's accept it in its entirety. I don't have to blame you anymore for remembering how lonely I felt that day. Spending time with no one else on the sandy beach, where the waves are gently lapping. Failure is also an important part of who you are. Let's admit it. If it sounds pathetic, just say that it was the best you could do at that time. I've had enough of regret. My body and mind are heading towards a more peaceful state. Tonight, I'm going to free myself. Real growth begins when you forgive yourself for your past. Being scared is an important part of who you are. Let's admit it. The sound of breathing is the only signal that confirms your life. Even if you remember the sadness of that day, it is now a part of you. Gently embrace the person who has hurt you. Saying thank you for your past self will free you. Every little sound you hear at night lulls you to sleep. It's okay if it takes time to heal your emotional wounds. Let's turn our guilt into understanding. I had no choice but to do it because I was hurt at that time. So let's forgive now. All your worries become one point and disappear. Failure is the spice of life. No one is perfect. Let's turn negative words about ourselves into understanding. By embracing your past self, you can move on. Let's just accept the rest that our body needs. Failure is also part of who you are as a person. Let's accept it in its entirety. Failure is also a great part of who you are. Let's love you. Accepting your past will free you. Picture yourself sitting on the shore of a quiet lake, looking at the moon's reflection in the water. The surface of the lake is as calm as glass. Tonight, let's turn the wounds of the past into healing light. Tonight, let's turn the darkness in our hearts into nourishment for growth. If they ask you why, just tell them that you're doing your best. All you need to do tonight is lie down in peace. Showing your vulnerability is also a great part of who you are. Let's love you. If you hear that you're not good enough, tell them that you're okay. Tonight, let's turn the thorns of self-blame into healing light. Feel the sand flowing between your toes on a white sandy beach. If you can forgive others, you should be able to forgive yourself. Even if you remember your anger from that day, it's okay. By forgiving yourself for your past, you can move on. It's okay to worry about tomorrow until the sun comes up. Even if you remember the sadness of that day, you have already moved on. Forgiving yourself really makes your heart feel lighter. Tonight, let's turn the darkness in our hearts into a source of strength. I feel my heart sinking into deep silence. Let's turn words of negativity towards ourselves into forgiveness. If you hear that you need to try harder, respond by saying it's okay. Crying is also an important part of who you are. Let's love you. Imagine yourself walking through a forest in the morning mist. The moist air makes you breathe deeply. Failure is also a beautiful part of who you are. Let's accept it in its entirety. It's okay now. You did your best. Let's turn negative words towards ourselves into love. It's okay to let go of what happened today. Tomorrow is a new day. Being scared is part of who you are as a person. Let's admit it. Cherish the present moment rather than regretting the past that cannot be undone. Showing vulnerability is also an important part of who you are. Let's admit it. Lying in an old Japanese-style room, feeling the scent of tatami mats. You can see the moon through the shoji screen. Loving yourself really makes your heart feel lighter. If you sound like you're not good enough, respond by saying you're great. Even if I remember the sadness of that day, I don't have to blame you anymore. Deep within my heart, water of peace flows like a source. Accepting yourself truly frees you. Even if you remember the embarrassment of that day, it is now a part of you. Let's let go of the hurt. Imagine a tranquil pond with lotus flowers floating in it. Faint ripples spread out on the water's surface and then disappear. If you hear that it's your fault, tell them it's time to take a break. Even if you remember the regrets of that day, it's okay. Being scared is a great part of who you are. Let's love you. The silence of the night gently embraces your heart. Even if you remember the anger you felt that day, it is now a part of you. Even if you remember the tears of that day, you have already moved on. Go to sleep while gently forgiving yourself. Standing on an old lighthouse, looking out to the ocean in the distance. The wind is calm. I don't have to blame you anymore for remembering the failures of that day. If they sound pathetic, just say it's okay. If you hear yourself criticizing yourself, turn it into kindness. The darkness isn't scary. It's like a gentle blanket that wraps you around you. Even if you remember the regrets of that day, they are now a part of you. If you hear that you're not good enough, just say that it's okay just the way you are. At that time, I was the best I could be at that time. You are completely enveloped in the gentle world of futons. Showing your weakness is also part of who you are as a person. Let's accept it in its entirety. Let's embrace the guilt gently. Even if you remember the helplessness you felt that day, it is now a part of you. I'm sitting alone in an old movie theater, completely silent. A new life begins when you accept yourself. If you hear that it was your fault, respond by saying that you did your best at that time. Even if I remember the loneliness of that day, I can forgive myself now. Picture yourself sitting on the edge of a slowly flowing river. The sound of water will wash away the buzzing in your head. By saying thank you for your past self, you can move on. If you hear something about what you should have done at that time, just say it's okay. Even if I remember how helpless I felt that day, I can forgive myself. You don't have to worry about the hands of the clock. Rest as much as your body needs. Tonight, turn the wounds of your past into nourishment for growth. Forgiveness is the greatest gift you can give yourself. Even though I remember the sadness of that day, my heart has already healed. In the darkness of the night, your heart is quietly healed. Let's turn the voices of self-blame into love. What was different at that time was the process of your growth. So let's forgive now. The reason we failed at that time was because we were human. So let's forgive now. In this quietness, your original gentleness will return. Let's turn the voices of self-blame into understanding. Tonight, let's turn the weight of guilt into healing light. Being scared is an important part of who you are. Let's accept it in its entirety. Look back on your day and say thank you for your hard work. Crying is also part of who you are as a person. Let's love you. Being scared is a beautiful part of who you are. Let's admit it. What you couldn't do back then was the process of growing up. So let's forgive now. Imagine a quiet forest at night. A cool breeze blows gently through the trees. Accept your guilt as a part of yourself. You are worthy of forgiveness. Crying is also a beautiful part of who you are. Let's accept it in its entirety. I am in front of a waterfall, surrendering my whole body to its sound. The spray of water is cool. Let's turn our regrets into love. Failure is also part of who you are as a person. Let's love you. If she sounds pathetic, respond by saying you're doing your best. Imagine yourself sitting next to a fire and eating a roasted sweet potato. Warmth surrounds your whole body. Accepting yourself for what you couldn't do is the start of the next step. If you hear that you need to try harder, respond by saying that you did your best at that time. Even if you remember the tears you cried that day, you can forgive now. The mind slowly returns to itself. If you feel like you're not good enough, just tell them it's time to take a break. Tonight, let's turn the hurt of our past into a source of strength. You can change, that's why I can forgive myself for my past. Picture yourself wrapped in a blanket in front of a warm fireplace. The flickering of the fire makes your eyelids feel heavy. I don't have to blame you anymore for remembering my anger that day. Tonight, let us turn the thorns of self-blame into rain of peace. Tonight, turn the weight of guilt into a source of strength. Lying in the middle of a flower field, surrounded by colorful flowers. The scent wafts up gently. Real growth begins by saying thank you for your past self. If you hear that you're not good enough, respond by saying that you did your best at that time. Accept your failures as part of who you are. Imagine yourself looking at the orange sky from the top of a hill at dusk. There is a sense of calm at the end of the day. If you ask me why I said that, I'll tell you that it was the best I could do at that time. If they ask you why you're doing something like that, just say it's okay. Showing your vulnerability is also a great part of who you are. Let's accept it in its entirety. Imagine a dimly lit beach before sunrise. It's a quiet time before the day begins. Forgiving yourself truly sets you free. Please forgive me as many times as you like until your heart feels lighter. Even if you remember the embarrassment of that day, you can forgive yourself now. It's such a luxury to have time for yourself at the end of the day. Let go of your failures. Everyone makes mistakes. That's what humans are. The tears you cried that day are also important experiences that made you who you are today. I'm lying next to a quiet pool under blue light. It seems like time has stopped. Being scared is part of who you are as a person. Let's love you. My failures are also an important part of me. If you hear something bad about yourself, respond by saying you're great. Your mind is letting go of everything at this moment. If you hear that you need to try harder, respond by saying it's okay to just keep going. If you hear that you need to try harder, respond by saying you're great. Even if you remember how helpless you felt that day, it's okay. Your presence shines brightest at this moment. Even if you remember your mistakes that day, you can forgive them now. Let's turn the voices of self-blame into forgiveness. Tonight, let's turn the darkness in our hearts into seeds of kindness. I am walking slowly through the snow-covered garden. Footprints are carved into the white snow. If you hear that it's your fault, respond by saying it's okay. Even if you remember the embarrassment of that day, you have already moved on. Failure is also a beautiful part of who you are. Let's admit it. Imagine a park at night, with wild animals asleep. Everything is peacefully resting. Let's say thank you to our past selves. Crying is also a wonderful part of who you are. Let's love you. If you hear that you should have done something like that at the time, respond by saying that it's okay to take a break now. The night before sleep. You are now in a place where the world can change in the blink of an eye. The reason I failed at that time was because I had no choice but to do it. So let's forgive now. If you hear that you're not good at what you're doing, Respond by saying that you're doing your best. Let's turn our regrets into understanding. You will slowly be freed from the concept of time. Tonight, let's turn the thorns of self-blame into sources of strength. Tonight, let's turn the darkness in our hearts into healing light. Accept your scars as part of yourself. The night light is gently caressing your heart. Even though I remember the tears I cried that day, my heart has already healed. By embracing your past self, you will be free. Tonight, let's turn the thorns of self-blame into nourishment for growth. The outside world feels far away, and now the only world is inside this futon. Tonight, turn the weight of guilt into nourishment for growth. Let go of the guilt. If your child asks why you're doing that, just tell him that he can take a break now. He is lying on his back in the middle of a meadow. There is endless sky above and the smell of grass all around. Tonight, I decide to forgive myself. Forgiving yourself is a strength, not a weakness. Showing vulnerability is also an important part of who you are. Let's love you. A calm feeling fills your whole body. Let's turn our guilt into love. Even if you remember the sadness of that day, it's okay. Being scared is a great part of who you are. Let's admit it. After leaving the old library, I am walking alone through the moonlit town. Only footsteps can be heard. Tonight, I accept all of myself. Crying is also a beautiful part of who you are. Let's love you. Failure is also an important part of who you are. Let's accept it in its entirety. A deep peace will fill your heart. Showing your vulnerability is also a great part of who you are. Let's admit it. Tonight, let's turn past hurts into seeds of kindness. The moment you can forgive yourself, the world looks a little brighter. Even your sleeping breath sounds like the gentlest sound in the world. You were working hard at that time. That's fine. Let's melt away the guilt that has built up in your heart little by little. You are a little kinder today than you were yesterday. I'm sitting on a park bench before dawn. It's a time when the world is still asleep. Even if you remember the tears you cried that day, they are now a part of you. Mistakes are a human privilege. That's fine. Being scared is part of who you are as a person. Let's accept it in its entirety. Everything becomes far away and only silence approaches. Let's love you. A fire in the fireplace burns quietly in the cottage surrounded by greenery. If you hear that it's your fault, just say it's okay. Showing your weakness is also part of who you are as a person. Let's admit it. Tonight, let's turn the thorns of self-blame into seeds of kindness. Imagine yourself under the night sky in the desert. Stars like you've never seen before are twinkling quietly. You don't have to punish yourself anymore. Set yourself free tonight. Let's turn our guilt into kindness. Even if you remember the loneliness of that day, it is now a part of you. You are spending your most precious time right now. What hurt you back then was your growing up process. So let's forgive now. Let's turn the voices of self-blame into kindness. If you hear that you need to try harder, respond by saying that you're doing your best. A small hut in a snowy landscape, looking out at the snow outside. It's warm inside and deep silence outside. The reason I was hurt that time was because I was human. So let's forgive now. Forgive yourself for not being perfect. The reason why that time was different is because we are human beings. So let's forgive now. Crossing a quiet lake on a small boat. The sound of water can be heard regularly. Let's just look ahead. Even though I remember my failure that day, my heart has already healed. Showing your vulnerability is also a beautiful part of who you are. Let's love you. I am walking along a promenade surrounded by autumn leaves. Fallen leaves rustle beneath my feet. The more you forgive yourself, the lighter your heart will become. Showing your weakness is also part of who you are as a person. Let's love you. You don't have to be perfect. It's imperfect and beautiful. I'm standing in front of an empty bookshelf in the library in the evening. It seems like time has stopped. Loving yourself makes you truly free. You don't have to keep blaming yourself. You have made enough amends. It's okay to be free now. Imagine yourself sitting on the beach listening to the sound of the waves. The waves that come and go will adjust the rhythm of your heart. If they ask you why you say that, just reply that you're amazing. Even if I remember the tears that day, I don't have to blame you anymore. Tonight, let's turn the hurts of the past into rain of peace. Picture yourself slowly soaking in a hot spring. Steam rises, and the fatigue in your body melts away in the hot water. Crying is also a wonderful part of who you are. Let's admit it. The decision I made at that time was the best one at that time. Even if you remember your anger from that day, you can forgive yourself now. At this moment you are free from everything in the world. Tonight, let's turn the darkness in our hearts into rain of peace. It's okay to remember the loneliness of that day. Regrets are proof that you have grown. Imagine a peaceful moonlit garden. The flowers at night give off a faintly sweet scent. Being scared is a beautiful part of who you are. Let's love you. If they ask why you're doing that, just tell them it's okay. Failure is also an important part of who you are. Let's love you. I'm lying on the edge of a rice field, looking at the summer clouds. The wind caresses the grass. Tonight, let's turn tears of regret into a source of strength. Are you being too hard on yourself? I wish it was a little sweeter. I no longer need to blame you for remembering how helpless you felt that day. Imagine a night when snow falls quietly. Snow absorbs sound and surrounds the world with a soft silence. By forgiving your past self, your future self will begin to shine. True growth begins when you accept your past self. Let's turn our guilt into forgiveness. Nighttime is a special time reserved for healing your daytime self. You have a chance to start over every day just by being alive. Being scared is a beautiful part of who you are. Let's accept it in its entirety. Let go of your anger little by little. Imagine yourself lying in a spring meadow, looking up at the passing clouds. The only sound I hear is the wind blowing through the grass. The past is the past. A new me begins tonight. Tonight, let's turn tears of regret into nourishment for growth. Failure is also a great part of who you are. Let's accept it in its entirety. I feel my heart becoming quieter and quieter. If you hear that you should have done something that way, respond by saying that you are doing your best. Tonight, let's turn the weight of guilt into a rain of peace. There's no need to blame yourself for not being able to do it then. Imagine yourself walking on the beach, picking up seashells. Even if you remember the embarrassment of that day, I don't have to blame you anymore. Even if your consciousness gradually becomes vague, just let yourself go. When your eyelids feel comfortable and heavy, it's a sign that sleep is coming. It's okay if you start to feel confused. That's because your body chooses to rest. If you feel like the sound is getting far away, head to the world of sleep with peace of mind. Enjoy the feeling of your body slowly sinking. Nothing needs to be resolved tonight. Your only job is to sleep. The words in my head disappear little by little, and a quiet darkness spreads out. Sleep is not something you chase, but something you welcome. It's okay if you just wait. When your sense of time starts to blur, It's a sign of deep relaxation. Your body is about to go into recovery mode. Don't think about anything. Just let yourself be enveloped in a sense of security in the darkness. Enjoy the feeling of drifting between consciousness and unconsciousness. Even the sound of your breathing becomes distant and you melt into a deep silence. It quietly prepares your body for sleep. You don't have to try anymore. Your body will guide you naturally. Everything about the day has gone away, and now only peace remains. Feel the speed of your thoughts slowing down. Let's stay in this comfortable slumber and gently drift off to sleep. A deep and peaceful sleep will soon envelop you. Leave tomorrow to yourself and just rest tonight. Brain waves are gradually lowering and moving towards the frequency of sleep. If you feel your eyelids becoming heavy, gently close your eyes without resisting. A slow drop in body temperature is a sign that you are heading to sleep. Your heartbeat will calm down and match the rhythm of sleep. One by one, your five senses fade away and you enter the inner world. The noisy voice in your head turns into a whisper, then into silence. The line between reality and dreams becomes blurred, and you slowly drift into sleep. Feel the mysterious sensation of your body completely melting into the futon. No longer wait for sleep, but feel it draw you in. You may start to see a gentle color behind your eyelids. That's a sign that sleep is coming. Freed from the loop of thought, you are moving towards the world of nothingness. Your consciousness is starting to travel somewhere far away. The entrance to sleep is open here. Let's sneak in. My body and mind are all ready for sleep. Gravity gently pulls you down, guiding you to sleep. I feel myself being slowly released from the weight of reality. The door to the world of sleep is slowly opening. Even the concept of time has become irrelevant. Slowly sink into deep peace. You don't have to think about anything anymore. Sleep takes care of everything. You are now welcomed into the safety of sleep. Your brain waves are slowly decreasing, and you are entering a meditative state. When you start to see color behind your eyelids, sleep is just around the corner. Heavy eyelids are a sign that your brain is giving you permission to sleep. Your heartbeat will calm down, paving the way for a deep sleep. When your body temperature starts to drop, it means you're ready for sleep. My breathing becomes shallow and I go into autopilot mode. The boundary between consciousness and unconsciousness becomes increasingly blurred. The sounds of the outside world gradually become distant and you are drawn into the inside world. Your brain is now doing everything it needs to do to prepare you for sleep. Preparations for a deep sleep are being made quietly. You are on the threshold of sleep, and there is no going back. Sleep comes naturally while maintaining this relaxed state. All of your body's systems are starting to switch into sleep mode. Your brainstem continues to send sleep signals throughout your body. Your pupils gradually shrink, lighting your way to sleep. The flow of cerebrospinal fluid changes, preparing the body for sleep. This calm is your right. The depth of abdominal breathing increases your sense of presence. Your entire body feels like one warm blanket. You don't have to decide anything. You don't have to choose anything. Just being here is enough. The muscles around your lips will gradually relax. I feel like my heart is sinking into a deep ocean. Let's check each of the 5 senses one by one. What are you feeling now? Bring your awareness to the instinctive movement of breathing. A single warm stream flows down from your head to your toes. Enjoy this feeling as it becomes more and more comfortable. I feel like my body is completely assimilated into the futon. Slow, 4-beat breathing guides you in a meditative manner. You will soon depart into the world of dreams. Even if the edges of your consciousness start to blur, feel safe and let it go. Your entire back will rest on the futon and you will be completely relaxed. Surrounded by the quiet night, you are about to get a deep rest. The waves of sleep are gently approaching you. The weight of your futon keeps you firmly connected to the earth. Now slowly feel the area of your body that is touching the futon. The gentle rhythm of breathing gently guides you to sleep. Your breathing is already close to the rhythm of sleep. You don't have to try to empty your head. Just quietly observe. The longer you exhale, the calmer your mind becomes. When your breathing is calm, your mind is calm too. This is an eternal truth. Your heartbeat is slowly starting to match the rhythm of the night. You don't have to try to change anything. Just accept it as it is. Give your body the rest it needs. As your mind becomes quieter, your breathing also becomes quieter. Breathing is a wonderful miracle that you do unconsciously. Breathing in silence sounds most beautiful. The silence of the night gently lulls you to sleep. Good night. You are taking good care of yourself tonight as well. If there is a place in your body that feels comfortable, focus your attention there. I can feel the deep muscles of my shoulder blades relaxing. Calm breathing gently wraps your unconscious mind. Let's expand the stillness that exists between our thoughts. Everything, mind and body, is in rest mode. Let's focus only on this moment. Past or future doesn't matter now. Your lower abdomen will relax and your breathing will become deeper. Calmness surrounds you. Feel your brain waves slowly changing to alpha waves. Notice the momentary stillness between your breaths. The back of your eyelids will become pleasantly heavy. One by one, my vertebrae sink into the futon. As you sleep, you gradually accumulate strength for tomorrow. The sound of your breathing turns your mind into a calm pond. Your entire skin is gently wrapped in a warm blanket. Your lumbar vertebrae are well supported and you will feel a sense of stability. Your elbow joints will loosen up, and your entire arm will feel lighter. Just like this, let's slowly melt into the comfortable darkness. Time passes slowly with the slow tempo of your breathing. The tension in your throat quickly disappears, and your entire neck feels lighter. With each exhale, feel the tension in your muscles melt away. Feel the coldness and warmth at the same time as you breathe in the air. The sacrum is warm and the entire pelvis is enveloped in a sense of stability. The bridge of your nose will become clearer, making it easier to breathe. As your breathing rate decreases, your mind enters deeper silence. Your sitting bones rest on the futon and your entire lower body becomes stable. Deep peace is hidden in the simple act of breathing. Close your eyes and just observe the sensations in your body. By focusing on your breathing, the chatter in your head will quiet down. Let's take a break from thinking and switch to feeling. The place you are right now is the safest place in the universe. Your mind rests in peace and sleep. Enjoy the feeling of your consciousness becoming more and more distant. With your eyes closed, gently let go of the thread of consciousness. The world is quiet for you at this moment. Your whole body begins to function like one big relaxation device. When you feel this voice becoming distant, it is the beginning of sleep. Feeling your breath keeps you grounded in the moment. Every cell in your body welcomes sleep. Let's turn down the volume of the voice in our hearts just a little. The entire nervous system switches into relaxation mode. I can feel my muscles relaxing one by one. Warmth flows from the base of your arms to your fingertips. Each lumbar vertebrae will feel the support of the futon. I'm sitting in the waiting room of an abandoned station, looking out at a landscape where time seems to have stopped. Lymph fluid flows slowly through the body, carrying away waste products. If you feel your body getting heavier, it's a sign that sleep is coming. Rest your entire day on this pillow. The inside of your ear slowly becomes warmer. You will feel warmth around your belly button and your heart will become calmer. By controlling your breathing, you can control everything about yourself. The blood flows all the way to the tips of your toes, making your fingertips so warm that they become dazzling. Inhale, hold, exhale. These 3 steps will improve your mind and body. Leave tomorrow's affairs to tomorrow's self. For now, just be here. It's a night where you can carefully feel the small miracle of breathing. Warmth wells up from the depths of my heart. The tension in the back of your throat gradually melts away. Feel the muscles around your ears relax and the blood circulation in your head improve. Even if you have a thought, leave it for tomorrow morning. Between this moment and morning, your mind will be completely reset. The softness of the pillow, the warmth of the futon. A little happiness is here. Breathe in to find courage and breathe out to let go of fear. The strength in your buttocks will gradually release, and your lower back will firmly root into the futon. Tonight's dream will surely be a sweet dream. This sensation of a slight drop in body temperature is a natural transition to sleep. Entrust your mind to the tempo of your breathing and surrender your whole body to it. A moment of breathing is the beginning of a new life. Your wrists will become supple and your palms will feel warm. At the bottom of a deep, deep sleep, complete peace awaits you. The lungs expand and absorb oxygen comfortably. The moment you fall asleep is the most beautiful moment of your day. Your breathing has become your only job. If you start to feel lightheaded, that's a very good sign. All sounds, both audible and inaudible, surround you. Your ribs will naturally open and breathing will become easier. The quality of the air you breathe becomes the quality of your heart. The world that spreads out beyond your eyes is your own peaceful space. Your tailbone will sink into the futon, and your lower body will be fully supported. The area around your heart feels warm, and your heartbeat slows down. It's okay if you don't have a name for how you're feeling right now. Just feeling it is enough. Tomorrow you will be more free. Good night.